told you to quiet down, but now you wear a crown. Visionary queen with a spark.
Welcome to You Matter in Business with Ariel Faith, your brand, your story, and your success, because you matter in your business. Welcome again to You Matter in Business. We talked today about leadership and authority through heart, not hierarchy. So, quick scenario, you're leading something, a project, a team, a client engagement. Someone asks you a question and you realize you just don't know the answer. What's your first instinct? You really don't know the answer. For most of us, it's panic because leaders are supposed to know everything, right? What if, I don't know, let's figure it out together is actually one of the most powerful leadership statements you could make. Today, we're flipping the script on leadership. We're talking about collaborative authority leading through wisdom and values, not hierarchy and control. If you're 40 and up, you have a collaborative leadership advantage you might not have ever realized. Let's talk about what that authority actually is. The old model that a lot of us have grown up with is the authority came from the titles, your credentials, your position, the letters on the back of your name. And then you were literally above other people by having those credentials, right? That's what a lot of us screw up with, especially the older generations. But here's the truth. When was the last time you trusted someone because they had an impressive title or letters at the end of their name? Real authority comes from something different now. It comes from lived experience, clear values, and the willingness to say, here's what I've learned, instead of here's what you must do. A real example, I'm leading a small team on a branding project. In the old model, I'd be expected to have all the answers, make all the decisions, tell everyone what to do. In a collaborative model, I would say, here's the direction based on what I know about this client. What am I missing? What are you seeing? I would like this collaborative group to come up with the solutions and the decisions. That's collaborative authority. You lead with what you know, and you stay open to what others know. You don't need a corner office to lead. You need wisdom, clear values, and courage to use what your gut tells you as data. Leading without pretending everything is much more genuine and freeing. And it's okay to not know everything. No one does. And here's something important. We all lead differently, and that's good. I'll introduce you to a woman I've been following for many years. I met her through the Don Miller's Story brand certification program a couple years ago, and she was one of the instructors. Her name is Macy Robison. There is no N, so it's Robison. She does incredible work on leadership styles. If you check out her website, I'll put the link in the show notes. She has an assessment that's worth taking. And if you want to go deep on this, you can work with her. But here's the basic truth. Some of us are natural visionaries, strategists, and some are connectors and implementers. None is better than the other. Some people speak with our mouths. Some speak with our hands by writing. Some are more strategic. So there's lots of different strengths. So rather than trying to be all things to all people, she helps you through this assessment analyze where your strengths are. What is your leadership style? The problem comes when we try to lead like somebody else. And we've all felt this before. We've listened to somebody who's very successful, maybe a mentor, or we've bought their book, and there's just something off when we read it. It doesn't feel good to us. It might work for that person, but it won't work for us. Problem is it's not aligning with our inner nature. So that's what she helps you identify. And it's really worth your time. And I wanted to take the time to introduce you to her. She's extremely intelligent and leads very much the way I just described. It's more like you're going on a journey with her as she learns. And I just really value that personally because that's very aligned with my leadership style. So the problem really comes when you try to lead like somebody else and it's not you? What is your natural style? How do other people fit in that? Who can you pull into your team that will help that leadership as a whole, that company as a whole, fill in those gaps if you are not very strategic? What if you bring somebody in that has more of a strategic mind? Think of the things you could see and do now.
Behind the lens, crafting tales and news.
Bring your marketing, your brand to life with storytelling and strategy. Cut through the noise with clear messaging and compelling visuals that resonate with your ideal client. We bring strategy, story, and visuals to help you with your marketing. Visit arieljoyfaith.com and schedule a consultation and see how we can help you bring your brand to
No
life.
selfies here, just genuine sight. Authenticity in every light.
If you're more of a visionary and you see large pictures, bring somebody in that's a little more detail oriented. If you're trying to be somebody else, it's like trying to put on somebody else's clothes and it doesn't fit, doesn't look good, doesn't fit, doesn't sound good, something is off. When I finally accept my natural style, and she really helped me identify what they were, it wasn't that I didn't feel it, they didn't have words to put to it. And I'm definitely a combination based on her assessment that was an interesting combination to me because it identified all the things I feel good about in words. And now I understood that's why I fit in multiple places. That's why I can lead in a different way because I am strengths in certain areas. And it was really educating and helpful. So it's data that is very useful. So I suggest I put the link definitely in the show notes so that you guys can take her assessment. She just redid how she's answering and giving back the feedback based on her last couple of years. She has a podcast called Own Your Impact, which is on my top 10 list. So again, it's a plug for her, but she's definitely worth listening to. She's got incredible information and has had a lot of great experience. So enough about Macy. Macy, if you're listening, I just plugged you and am sharing you with my audience. But when we talk again more about that collaborative leadership, what does it actually look like? First, it's not about being everyone's friend. It's not about avoiding different conversations. That's people pleasing, not collaborative. Collaborative leadership means you maintain authority while staying approachable. You give clear direction without being controlling. Think of it like hiking with a group. The collaborative leader doesn't run ahead yelling, keep up, keep up. They also don't say, whatever you want to do is fine when the group is lost. So they say, based on what you know, I think we should head in this direction. What are you seeing that I might be missing? They're open to input. I had to address one community that wasn't honoring our agreement, and one model says, lay down the law. Show you who's in charge. I said, here's what I'm seeing. Here's the impact. Here's what needs to change. Help me understand what's happening from your side. I held the boundary. The behavior had to change, but I stayed curious. Turns out there was a context that I didn't know, and we solved it together. That's collaborative leadership. Clear on what, curious about the why. Here's what's wild. When you say, I was wrong, or just changed my mind, people respect you more because they know you're leading from wisdom, not ego. If you are in that position in your life where you're creating this new path and you are in one of those transitions, a lot of women, it's 40 and above, and you have some younger leaders still building, you've lived long enough to know nobody has all the answers. You've been wrong enough times to be comfortable saying, I don't know. You've seen enough leadership disasters to know control does not work. The younger generations, they're hungry for this. They don't want bosses who talk at them. They want leaders who collaborate with them, who respect their knowledge and their education too. Your decades of experience creates natural authority. The key is sharing it like wisdom. not wielding it like a weapon. Here's what I've learned, and I've been doing this for 20, 30 years. You can teach without being preachy. You can share what you know without making people feel small. That's the collaborative leadership advantage of experience. You've earned the authority. You don't need to prove it constantly. What you're modeling matters. People are watching you lead, learning whether success requires sacrifice, whether leadership means having all the answers, and being a leader who doesn't know everything, but knows how to find answers with your people. Now that's a leadership model that I believe most people are looking for and hungering for. Talk a little bit more about in the next coming weeks, starting with the seeds that your heart wants to plant. So what does that mean? How do we take this wisdom and give it to the generations behind us? A lot of people will call this legacy. They may call it making an impact. But what are you building right now that matters? And we're bringing that together with what we've talked about today. So here's the reflection for this week. What's your natural leadership style? Not what do you think it should be, but what actually is it? So take the time to get her assessment. It really will give you incredible insight into yourself. Are you trying to lead like someone else when you should be leading like yourself? Another question. Where could you say, I don't know, let's figure it out together instead of pretending you have all the answers? Deeper work on leadership styles, make sure you check out Macy Robinson's work. Her work is excellent. It's okay to have your natural style and lean into it. That's where authenticity and clarity come from. Collaborative leadership and building authority through wisdom instead of hierarchy or authority or dictatorship. That's where true leaders are born and grow, nurtured. So the real women in business community is filled with women that are practicing this collaborative leadership while building value-driven businesses, women 40 above, creating sustainable success. Learn more about that on my website, arieljoyfaith.com. That will be in the show notes. Because you matter in business. Your leadership style matters. Your collaborative authority matters. And I will see you again next week.
See you next episode. After all, it is your brand, your story, and your success, because I know that you matter in business. Thank you for listening to You Matter in Business podcast. Please follow, share, like, and comment. I would love to hear from you. This podcast is sponsored by Ariel Faith Storytelling Marketing and Your Brand Photographer. The show notes provide more information on how to contact Ariel and more information about this episode. Thank you again.
They told you to quiet down, but now you wear a crown. Visionary queen with a spark, lighting up the dark. Rediscover your own fire, chase the dreams that lift you higher. Redefine your role today, brand new in every way. Build your confidence through my lens. Break the walls you put up since. Embrace your power, hear your roar. You are meant for so much more. You are meant for so much more.